طيب السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. طيب الآن ندخل إلى مرحلة اللي هي الديزاين بروسيس. الآن خلصنا طبعا كل ما يتعلق بموضوع الديزاين، الديزاين elements، الديزاين principles، وأخذنا مراجعة شاملة على الملاحظات أو على التوبكس اللي ممكن تكونون أخذتوها في المحاضرات السابقة. Now we're going to start with design process after we have finished the elements, design elements, and we have taken also the design principles. Now you are ready to go to the next step, which is the design process. The design process, now we are going to go to the first step of our project. This is I consider this is the first step to our project. So which is called the design process. Now next class, inshallah, I will give you the location of our project, and you need to start your site analysis. But let's take this first. Let's finish or complete this lecture, and inshallah next time we will see what we will have in our design. So design process is as follows: descriptive representation of design process. So this graph here or this photo here shows you the or describes the design process for you. You will get a task. يعني نحن ناخذ تاسك اللي هو ايش؟ قلنا احنا عندنا فيلا سكنيه لعائله، وراح نذكر هذه العائله ايش هي. طبعا مكونه من اب وام واولاد وكذا يعني اولاد او بنات يعني. وهذه الفيلا السكنيه تعتبر هي التاسك بالنسبه لنا. اوكي. فهذه المرحله الاولى تعتبر طبعا المراحل الثلاث للديزاين بروسيس متداخله. We have interrelation between the three design phases: the planning phase, the generation phase, and the evaluation phase. Okay, but there is connection, okay, or there is relation between each phase of these three phases. Okay, and the first thing is that the task is that the thing that you want to design. That what I want to design here, we want to design a villa for a family. They have children, and then we have to problem representation. We have to represent، نتخيل أو نتمثل العائلة هذه. مكونات العائلة من إيش متكونة؟ متطلباتهم، احتياجاتهم، حتى مثلا وظائفهم، أعمارهم، تخصصاتهم. هذه المرحلة اللي هي مرحلة البروبلم ريبريزنتيشن. يعني مرات أنت تجلس مع الكلاينت او الكاستمر اللي هو جاي عندك او الكلاينت، وقال لك انا اريد اسوي لي فيلا. بالضبط كذلك احنا راح ناخذ يعني هذا الشكل، بهالطريقه. كانه انت تتخيل انه في كلاينت جالك ويريد يصمم الفيلا تبعه، قال لك انا كذا كذا كذا. انت راح تجلس معاه. طبعا في بعد هذه المحاضره، يعني في هذه المحاضره راح نتكلم على موضوع كيف انك ممكن حتى لما تيجي تسوي بلاننج او بروبلم سولفينج، كيف ممكن تحدد مساحات الفضاءات، كيف ممكن تحدد مساحات الفضاءات، كيف ممكن تحدد احتياجات العائلة من ما يسمى ب ما يسمى ب الجلسة اللي راح تجلسها مع الكلاينت، اللي هو راح يحدد لك ايش متطلباته والأسئلة اللي انت ممكن توجهها له. طبعا هذا في راح ناخذه في النهاية، يعني في نهاية هذه في نهاية هذه المحاضرة. طيب the task the problem representation راح تحدد ايش المتطلبات. المتطلبات هذه these requirements will be you will be sit with the client or the sponsor of the project. It's not like a villa project. You will be sitting there and you will be starting to check on what are the requirements of this project. Okay, so problem representation. We're going to sit with the client and we're going to see what is his requirement, and we will ask him what does he want and what does we want from him to tell us. Because sometimes he thinks that some of the information is not that much important for the design, and you are, as an architect, you are responsible for taking this information because it might affect the concept that you want to have in this project. Okay, then after having the problem representation، تمثل المشكلة التصميمية هذه، then you're gonna start planning for solving these problems. How you will start, what you will do, what you want, and all these things. You will start for planning what you want to do. You have to have like we will take this information now. You have to take like a site visit to the location. You have to study the location. You have to analyze it. You have to create to say what you will do, how many times you need to sit like with the client, how many people you want for this project to work in this project, because especially if it's a big project. So planning for the designing is very important. Planning is very important in this stage. Then problem solving representation. How we will solve these problems. problem يعني أنا ما أقدر أقصد فيها مشكلة، يعني مشكلة حقيقية في ورطة، يعني نحن في ورطة يعني لا. problem يعني في كل ديزاين هو problem. تمام. كل مسألة تصميمية، كل شخص يجي لك كلاينت يطلب من عندك تصميم معين، هو يعتبر بالنسبة لك هذه مشكلة تصميمية وأنت تحلها. ولذلك أنا دائما لما أتكلم مع الطلاب يعني بعضهم يتعب يعني أو يتذمر أو كأنه بس يريد فقط يصمم. أنا أقول له أنت عندك problem، عندك مشكلة وأنت تريد تحلها، تجلس تفكر عليها مدة طويلة، تاخذ وقت فيها كيف تحل المشاكل التصميمية الموجودة. أنت، أنا أقول لهم أنت حلال مشاكل. You are problem solver. As an architect, you are a problem solver. A person came to you because he cannot solve his problem. He wants to have a house. Okay, he wants to have a villa. And he came to you and he's paying for you in order to solve his problem. Otherwise, if he could do it himself, he will not come to you. Okay, and you will find another profession and you will not find another work to do. But since you are the architect, you are responsible, just like a doctor. Why we go to the doctors? Because we don't know what kind of medication we want to our disease. And even maybe we don't know what is our illness. So this is why we are going to the doctors. You are a doctor also here. Okay, some person who's coming to you, he has a problem. He wants to have a house, a nice house he wants to live in. And he has his family, he wants to live in that house also. And he will spend the rest of his life maybe in that house. So it's very important and critical to take so much care for this, because you might, if you didn't take care about this, your design, if any mistake, you might destroy the life of these people who are living inside this house. It is critical. Okay, the architect's job is critical. Sometimes you are making big problems, like even financial problems, maybe you will make if you do a mistake, if you are not studying the problem well, if you are not planning well, if you are not solving the problem well, you might have some financial issues for for the owner of that building who came to you to help him. You might make like social problems, environmental problems, traditional problems, so on and so forth. So we don't want to have these issues for our client who's coming to us to design him a villa. So we need to study. He has a problem. We would consider that a person with a problem, he came to us to solve this problem. So problem solving representation, then the creation and the generation phase. In the generation phase, now I'm starting to make something, you know. Now I'm starting to make something. So I'm creating, I'm doing the forms, I'm doing the bubble diagram, I'm doing the zoning, where these activities should be, where that activity should be, and how much space I need for this activity and for that activity. What is the relationship between these spaces? All these things I need to take it into account in this phase with the problem solving and creation. And this is also the hypothetical solution, which is not the final solution. It's just like a hypothesis. يعني هذا فقط فرضية. يعني إذا افترض الحل يكون بهالطريقة، هل ينجح أو لا ينجح؟ هذا الشيء لازم أنا أختبره، يعني ما هي مرة واحدة حط واطلع على طول. So working solution، أنت تحط على hypothetical solution، تريد تشيك عليها وتعمل عليها تقييم، تنجح ولا ما تنجح. والسولوشن ريبريزنتيشن راح تمثل هذا السولوشن اللي انت عندك، وبعدها بمرحله الايفالويشن تقيم بعد ان راجعت السولوشن اللي سويته. You have revised it so many times and then you will check on this solution, then you will get the solution or the result or the final result of the evaluation phase. Okay, so this is design and one of the design phases, okay, of architectural design. So now this is the design process. Okay, this is the design process. Now the design phases of architectural design. Okay, let me tell you something. Or let's talk about this one, then I will tell you something practical. Okay, the conceptual design that we do is the most important stage or phase of the project. This is the conceptual design that we will stick on until the end of the project. After that, we are just doing the finishing of the work. We're just doing the like shop drawings or working drawings and construction drawings and so on and so forth. Just we are finishing what we have decided to do in the conceptual design phase. So in this way, the conceptual design is divided into three parts. The pre-design. Pre-design, uh, what is expected in this phase of the pre-design before we start the design? The design objectives, what we want, what we want in this project, the limitations and criteria. The limitations and the criteria اللي هي المعايير والمحددات. محددات جدا مهمة يعني للمشروع حتى يستطيع الإنسان المصمم أن يكون فكرة عن المشروع اللي هو دا يقدمه. وبالتالي هي الليميتيشنز، كثير من الطلاب او كثير من حتى المعماريين يظن انه الليميتيشن بالنسبه للمشروع هو شيء سيء يعني ومزعج، يعني هو عباره عن مشكله بحد ذاته. والحقيقه انه الليميتيشنز هي تحصر الدماغ في زاويه واحده عشان ما يكون مشتت في، يعني لو انت اعطوك الان task, if you have been given a task to design a villa in the middle of the desert where it's almost there is no limitations, or there is no like a municipality, بلدية, rules and regulations. At that time, you will be like the range will be wide for you. You don't know what to design, what to do, what is from where to start. But if you have limitations and criteria, rules and regulations, it will put your mind in something in some space or in some area that you can think about. So it's very important. Site requirements, what is required from the site. وهذه مجموعة فيها مجموعة من التفاصيل، يعني متطلبات السايت سواء كانت متطلبات البلدية or municipality requirements, maybe the site requirements, the relationship between your site and the neighborhood, relationship between you and your neighbors, especially space relations. How can I connect the spaces between each other of this project? Initial approximate facility area. How can this is in the zoning area? How can I choose? And this is what I told you about that we're gonna talk about. Maybe not this lecture and the next lecture. How you decide the space of the building, the sizes or the area of each space of the building, flexibility and expandability, etc. What is the rigid rules that I have in this project? What is the flexibility in this project? Then afterwards, I will do to the site analysis. Then I will go to the site, to the location, because first of all, someone came to me. I didn't go to the site before. Okay, I didn't see the site. Someone came to me to my office, okay, and he told me I have so and so and I want so and so. I have sat with him and I talked, or her, and I talked to him about his objectives, requirements, and I have asked him some of the questions that I myself need. Maybe he didn't want to say it because he don't know that you need these information. If you want to have a deep design or deep concept, you need to go deep in the client's needs and requirements and other information. I will tell you about now what is the practical. Once we finish this page, and a practical issue. Site analysis and selection. Okay, site development planning. يعني راح نروح على السايت، راح نجلس نشوف السايت، نشيك على السايت، الموقع، المكان، لازم تروح. You have to go to the site. If you want to design, you have to go to the site. On-site utility studies, zoning processing, etc. Then the schematic design. This is the last thing in the conceptual design, the space layout or spaces schematics, conceptual site and building plans, preliminary sections and the elevations, preliminary selection of building systems that we will take it later on in these lectures. Approximate dimensions, areas, volumes, perspective sketches. And this one, I will talk about the sketches and how to do the sketch manually, by your hand, freehand sketching. I will tell you in the next class, inshallah, how to do sketching manually, and study models, because it's very important to sketch with your hand. It's not good practice, for me at least. It's not a good practice to start directly using the softwares like AutoCAD or Revit or SketchUp. It's not good for the conceptual design phase. It is not good for the schematic design. It's not good. First, start with your hand, freehand sketch. Then you go make it with that with this with the softwares. Okay, if you want to use the softwares, in this class, because whoever wants to use the software like SketchUp, Revit, AutoCAD, no problem with that. But first of all, you have to do it via manual. You have to do it with your hands, okay? First of all, as I said, we can use the freehand for sketching, for the schematic design or the conceptual design. You need to do it by sketch by yourself. Then afterwards, you need to do it in a paper, okay, A2 paper, and you have to use to do it manual. Then afterwards, if you want to elaborate more than that, if you want to like progress in this stage and go up, you can use the what we call it like the drawing softwares. I think that most of you have made use of this pandemic and the lockdown, and you started to study these softwares. It doesn't take that much time. We have been in lockdown for several months now, and you can study all these things. And now on, if someone missed that, you can do it also. However, if you don't want to use the softwares, or if you feel that you don't have full command on these softwares, it's no problem for me. But as I told you, I'm giving you the freedom to use these softwares, but it has to be done first in manual. So this is why I told you this. A conceptual design is very important, and it has to be coming from your mind to the paper directly. The software is like you can say the stage or obstacle between translating the ideas from your mind to the paper. الفكرة لما تيجي الكونسبت على الدماغ. أنا أتكلم طبعا هذا الكلام في كيفية الوصول إلى الفكرة التصميمية في المحاضرة الأولى، ممكن الرجوع إليها. تمام، إنه الفكرة هذه ممكن تيجي خاطرة، يعني تمر على فجأة، ففي إيدك الورقة والقلم على طول تنزل الفكرة. عملية استخدام السوفت وير في تنزيل الفكرة، السوفت وير ياخذ وقت، فبالتالي الفكرة ما تنزل سموثلي بسلاسة من الدماغ مباشرة إلى الورقة. It will not come smoothly. The concept when it comes to your it's just like a hint or blink. It comes to your mind sometimes, and you need to directly translate this concept from your mind to a paper, to the paper as a line, as lines. So if you are using these softwares, maybe the softwares will take some time to draw, or especially for those who are not that much professional in using the software, you will lose that fluency or that smoothness of translating or implementing the concepts and ideas that you have in your mind directly in the paper. As I told you, I will give you a lecture of how to do of how to do the sketching, freehand sketching, and how to sorry represent the information that you need that you have in your mind, the concepts into the paper. Okay, this is about today's class, and in the next class, inshallah, we will talk about these figures here. Thank you very much for watching. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. See you in the next class. Assalamu alaikum.